In this video today we are going to talk about the how to sum the unique values. If you have a repetition in the numbers, how you can make a one single formula and you can filter the values and you can add one value. You can add actually a number only once if it is coming more than once, right? Here you can see that we have got around 24 numbers, and some of the numbers are getting repeated and some of the numbers are not actually repeating. So the question is that, first of all, let me just delete this. So if you look at this number 61, it's coming 4 times. One is this, second, and then third, and then fourth, right? So 4 times this number is coming. So we want to actually take this number into some calculation only once. That is basically the point, right? And similarly for other numbers, if 52 is also coming again and again, for example 1, 2, and then down the line this is also again coming, so this should be counted as 1. And the rest of the numbers which are coming once, which are unique, for example 412, you can see that 412 is not coming nowhere here, so this should be added as 412 obviously. So that's what he says, sum only those values which come one time, and if value comes multiple times then sum them only one time, right? So now what you're supposed to do in this particular case is, now first of all I'm going to find out that how many times each number is coming, guys, and for that I'm going to use the COUNTIF function. So I will go and use the COUNTIF function, and I'm going to use this as an array, so I'm not going to actually place this formula in front of every cell, right? So we are going to select this entire range, and then in the criteria again I'm going to select B1 to 24 because I want the criteria one by one to be counted: 61, 52, 412, 514, and in the range called B1 to B24. So once you press Ctrl Shift Enter, which is the actually the arrays, that's how we enter the arrays, then you press F9, this is what you get to see. Now please, so now when I press F9, guys, this is how you get to see the playlist, the table, right? So what it says is this 4 basically is for this 61 because this 61 is coming 4 times. This 52 is also coming 4 times, so that's why you have its count. Then 412, 514, they are not repeating, so that's why you see here 111. So for the values, for the counts where we have 1, that's okay, we will get those values back. But for the values which are actually coming more than one time, we want to actually average them so that we can count them as 1. We can sum them as 1, as a unique value one time only. I'll tell you what I'm saying. So basically 61 is coming 4 times here. So tell me one thing, guys, if I divide this 61 by 4, what will you get? You'll get 15.25, right? So you get this 15.25 here, and then you'll get the 51.25 here, and you get that 51 again here, 61 here, the same value, 15.25, and then there is a one more 61 which is coming here. So finally, if you are going to divide this 61 by 4, which means their count, what will happen in the at the end of the day, you can sum them up. If you're going to sum them up, this is what exactly it gives you: 61, exactly the same value. So this is basically the logic we are going to use here, right? So I have got the count of every number. You can see here F9 when I press F9. Now I'm going to say that any number which is coming more than once, right? So I'm going to put the if condition here, and then we're going to say that if the value is going to be greater than 1, then what I actually want is this value, this table, this is actually going to be divided by the number of the count that value is coming. So we are going to simply write COUNTIF. Again I'm going to write the B1 to B24, and then comma in the criteria again B1 is to B24, because my criteria should keep on moving from B1 to B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, and so on, until you find your B24. So that's actually how the formula is going to build, right? So this is going to find out the average for only those values where their count is greater than 1, guys. That's very important. You please make a note of it, right? This is not going to work for every number, which means this is not going to work for 412 and 514 because they are not getting repeated. So their count is coming 111 only, and I have clearly stated here that if the count is going to be greater than 1, then please find out their, divide them by the number of times those numbers are coming, right? So this will divide 61 by number of times 61 is coming, which is 4. So 61 by 4, what it is going to do. And then the second number 52 divided by how many times? 52, whatever times we are getting that 52. And then 412, it will leave 4514, and then 52 also if it is coming. So 52 is coming 2 times, I think 1, 2, maybe 3 times, so it is going to divide it by 3 times, right? But what about those values which are not coming, which are not getting repeated? Well, the values which are not getting repeated, we want to get them back as it is. So again, you write here b1 to b24. So this is how, guys, we write the arrays, right? Now look at this function. This is really amazing function, right? So I have used the two conditions here. One is the true condition and the second is the false condition. Now I'm just going to press Ctrl Shift Enter. Don't forget to press Ctrl Shift Enter, because you are making this formula as an array formula, otherwise you will get the error. If you press Enter, this is what you get to see, right? So what we want to do is we want to ensure that the curly bracket should be inserted so that we can have a correct value. So that's what you get to see when I press Ctrl Shift Enter, 15.25. Now you must be wondering that why we are getting 15.25 only, because 61 divided by 4 is going to give you the 15.24. What about the rest of the values? Well, you have to go to the equals to and press F9 to expand the formula. That's how we see, because Excel can't display all the cells in single one cell. You have to go and expand the formula using the F9 shortcut key. Just put your cursor after the equals to sign and this is what you get to see. Now you can see here 15.25 and then 13. Why the 13? Because if you divide this 52 by 4 times, I think this is what you're gonna get, right? So multiply 13 by 4, it's going to give you 52, right? So we are good. 412, 514, they are coming as it is. They're coming as it is, and that's what exactly we needed it. So finally, when you have this sum, 15.24 and 13 and then 412, so basically what is happening, the numbers which are repeating, we actually divided them by the number of times they are coming. So we actually split it, we had split them, right? And what about those numbers which are not coming again and again? Well, they are coming as it is. They are coming as a whole number. We are not actually doing any calculation, and it's only because of the reason that I have said clearly here that if the count is not greater than 1, then we want the number back as same. So b1 to b24 means 1 by 1 it is going to work in the loop. So arrays actually works like a loop, guys, right? So once you have all the values, what is the next step you would do? Well, the next step which I'm going to do, let me press Ctrl Shift Enter. Well, then the next step would be very simple. We are just going to add the sum. We are going to sum the values, and that's it. This is how we're going to sum the values, and you have got 9772, which is the sum of the unique values. Now this is your call, guys, arrays. Okay. Now what is the another approach? Because Mayank said that you are not supposed to use any other column, right? And that's why I actually used the clean formula, which is the array formula. But given the choice, I could have also used this thing, which is I could have used here the COUNTIF function. I could have said that COUNTIF. So I'm going to use here COUNTIF, and then I'm going to select this range, and in the range I'm going to put the criteria here as 61, right? So the moment I drag this function, what I will do, generally people always freeze the table, but this time I'm not going to freeze the top part of the table B1, right? The reason is very simple, because when I drag this down, I will not get the count for 61 as 4444 because my table is changing. So if you look at this, you press F2, this is your table. Now if you press F2, look at the table, guys, it's changing. So it's reducing, right? It's shrinking. So the moment you come to this 61, what happens, the upper, all the the table rows, they are not going to be calculated because we have already calculated them in the above cell. So this time the 61 is not going to be a part, this 61 is not going to be a part of this calculation. That's why you get to see here 3, and similarly you get to see here 2, and similarly you get to see here 1. Now for the values where I have actually 1, I can simply put the filter and I can see what is their sum. Or maybe you can also do one thing, you can put the condition here. You can say that if the count of, you put the condition here that you say that if my count if is going to be equals to 1, then I want the same value back. Otherwise it has to be 0, right? Because we want to consider only the ones, right? So when you drag this, this is how, guys, it looks like, right? So now you can see 61 is coming 0, this 61 is also coming 0, this 61 is also coming 0, only this 61 is coming as 61, and this is what we actually needed it. So you can write here the sum function, but this is when you want to actually use the extra column, helper column. So you have the same answer, and this is the arrays where we don't have to use anything, guys, right? So that's how basically this is what we have done. I just removed the equals to sign so that you can see the formula what we have done here. The other one was very simple, so that's okay. There we actually, I just used the if function, but still if you want to have a look, Let me select that cell, and you can see the formula here. This is the clean formula. If COUNTIF of this B6 to B24 is going to be greater than is going to be equals to 1, then I want that value. Remember how beautifully we actually left the top part of the table open. B6, we kept it open. If you're going to freeze the B6 and B24 both, then what will happen, you will get the count, you know, same for the number of times each value is repeated. So for the value where we have, let's say 61 is coming 4 times, you will get there 4 4 4 4 4. You're not gonna get 4 3 2 1. So we need the 4 3 2 1, so that we can pick up the 1 and we can leave the 2 3 and 4 part of it, right? So that is something which is important, and that's why we actually did not freeze this B6 part. So this is the first approach. I mean, this is the first method which you can apply, and then that the array is actually basically, that's the another thing, right? So thank you so much. Till next time, you stay fit and have a fantastic learning with